All right, everybody, buckle up because this deep dive is all about delegation.
Delegation.
Yeah. And let's be real for a sec. We've all felt that urge to micromanage, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, who hasn't? But that's why we're here, diving deep into why letting go.
Letting go.
Yes, letting go is the secret sauce to a killer team and leveling up your leadership game.
It's true.
It really is. Think about it like this. You're the captain,
Okay.
and you're handing over the ship's wheel.
I get it.
It's natural to want to grip tight, especially when, the whole journey depends on you.
You feel responsible.
Exactly. And our research actually says that's totally normal, that vulnerability.
And every leader's been there.
They have. But here's the catch.
Okay.
The research calls micromanagement the quicksand of productivity.
A powerful image, isn't it?
Intense. So break it down for us. Why is micromanaging so bad?
Well, think about quicksand. It sucks you down slowly but surely, right? And micromanagement, it's the same. One of the biggest things our research pointed out, that pressure cooker feeling, it turns into stress overload.
So instead of like a nice simmer, the team's about to boil over.
You got it. Creativity, initiative, gone. We saw one study, employees feeling micromanaged, 30% more likely to report crazy high stress.
Makes sense. Who thrives like that?
Nobody.
I could.
And on top of that stress comes the trust issue.
Ah, the trust deficit, right.
Huge. Someone always looking over your shoulder, questioning every move. What message does that send?
I don't trust you, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Motivation tanks, quality drops. It's like all the good stuff gets sucked right out.
So you're not just holding them back, you're actively making things worse.
It's a tough truth. And then, say goodbye to innovation.
Because nobody's going to stick their neck out.
Why would they? New idea, micromanager swoops in, criticizes, or even worse, takes credit.
It's like that saying about the tallest nail.
It's hammered down, yep.
Yeah.
And all of this, the stress, lack of trust, no room for new ideas, leads us straight to burnout central.
With everyone involved, right.
Oh yeah, the team and the micromanager. So bogged down in the weeds, they can't even see the bigger picture anymore.
It's like this vicious cycle, trapping everybody.
That's a great way to put it.
So before we dive into how to escape this trap, take a moment.
Reflect.
Yeah, reflect. Do any of these dangers sound familiar? Because you know what? It's just recognizing the problem.
That's a huge step.
It really is.
All right.
All right, so we've seen what micromanaging can do. How do we, avoid being that leader?
Right. It's about finding a better way.
Totally. And lucky for us, our research pointed to a pretty powerful weapon to combat that: delegation.
Delegation really is key. And it's not just about avoiding something negative. It could unlock something amazing. Our research showed all these teams just crushing their goals.
Oh, okay, I'm listening.
Individuals stepping up, everyone feeling energized.
Crushing goals, sign me up. But seriously, what makes delegation so effective?
Well, first, think of all that time you spend as a leader stuck doing tasks that someone else could handle.
Okay, yeah.
One study we looked at, it actually found that leaders who delegated well,
Yeah.
they got an extra 10 hours back every single week.
10 hours? That's like a whole extra day of work. What would I even do with that?
Exactly. It frees you up to focus on the bigger picture.
Instead of just putting out fires all the time.
Yeah. You get to be proactive, think strategically, develop your team.
It's like leveling up in a video game.
I like that.
No more grinding. It's time for the real challenge.
Exactly. And it's not just about freeing up your time, it's about your team's growth too.
Okay, so how does delegating help my team grow?
Think of it like a training ground. When you delegate well, you're giving them the chance to learn new skills.
Right.
Stretch their abilities, get some real experience.
So they're not just checking things off a list. They're actually building their skill set.
Exactly. Building their resumes, their confidence.
So it's a win-win. I get stuff off my plate. my team gets to grow.
And when they feel trusted and empowered like that,
What happens?
their engagement goes way up. They care more, go the extra mile.
Makes sense.
And they're more likely to stick around too.
Okay, that's huge. But let's be real for a second.
Okay.
Delegating, especially when you're used to just doing everything yourself,
It's tough.
it can be scary. Where do I even begin? How do I actually make that shift? That's the thing, isn't it? Knowing how to delegate,
It's the real challenge.
it is. But the good news is our research actually laid out this super practical step-by-step guide.
It's a great roadmap.
It is. And step one, it might seem obvious,
Okay.
but it's knowing your team.
You got to know who you're delegating to.
Right. But what does that actually look like?
So go beyond just their job title.
Okay.
Really understand their strengths, weaknesses, what they want to be doing.
Yeah, like their aspirations too.
Totally. Who works well under pressure? Detail-oriented or big picture? Who's mentioned wanting to learn something new?
It's like you're assembling your A-team.
It's true. You want everyone in a position to succeed.
Okay, so I've got my team. I know what they're good at. Time to unleash them on the biggest project I've been putting off.
Not so fast. Our experts say, don't go 0 to 60 with delegation.
Makes sense.
Start small.
Less pressure for everybody that way.
Exactly. What does starting small even mean, though?
Yeah, give me an example.
Could be as simple as, hey, can you lead the next team meeting?
Oh.
Or can you gather the data for this report? Low risk, but still a chance to grow.
Got it. Dip your toes in before you dive in head first.
Precisely.
All right, I've got the right task, the right person. How do I make sure it all goes smoothly?
That's step 3, and this is where things can really fall apart. Setting crystal clear expectations.
Okay, yeah, if I'm not clear.
It's a recipe for disaster.
So how do I avoid that?
3 things.
Yeah.
Outcome, deadlines, and decision-making power.
Got it. Break it down.
First, what does success even look like for this task? What are the goals? Second, clear deadlines, milestones to keep things on track.
Makes sense.
And finally, how much decision-making power does this person have? Be very specific.
So they're not just following orders, they have some ownership.
That's what you want. Shows you trust them, empowers them to take initiative.
Love that. But I don't want them to feel like I'm just, like, throwing them to the wolves.
Of course not. And that's step 4.
Yeah.
Give them the resources and support they need.
Okay, so it's finding that balance.
Right. Empower them, but don't abandon them. Maybe that's extra training,
Oh, yeah.
connecting them with a mentor, or just making sure they can access the info, the tools, whatever they need.
Be available, but not a micromanager.
Exactly. And that leads perfectly into step 5. Trust, but verify.
Love that. So I trust them to do the thing, but I'm still, keeping an eye on things.
Exactly. How do you do that without slipping back into micromanaging, though?
Yeah, that's the question.
Regular check-ins. But focus on progress, not the tiny details.
Okay.
Ask, how are things going? Not, did you do this one specific thing?
Let them lead it.
Exactly. And finally, step 6. This one's important.
Okay.
Celebrate successes. And just as crucial, learn from the failures.
Because there will be failures.
Oh, there always are. But when the team does well, shout it from the rooftops.
Yes. Recognize their hard work.
Publicly.
Yeah.
Mention it in performance reviews. Maybe even give them more responsibility.
Shows them you see their effort, encourages them to keep going.
Exactly. And when things go wrong,
Don't freak out.
no, the question isn't who messed up. It's what can we learn?
Turn it into a learning moment.
Right. Build that culture where people feel safe taking risks, knowing it's okay to make mistakes.
Because that's how we all grow, right?
Absolutely. And our research shows teams that embrace this whole delegation thing,
What happens?
they're more engaged, more creative, more resilient overall.
It's like a superpower.
It really is.
So as you're navigating your leadership journey, remember,
Delegation is your friend.
it's not about letting go. It's about empowering your team to be unstoppable.
And who knows, maybe that next big breakthrough
Yeah.
is just waiting for someone to be given the trust and freedom to make it happen.
That's what it's all about, right?
It really is.
Wow, so much to think about today. Listeners, as you go forth and delegate, ask yourselves,
What could your team achieve?
yeah, a year from now, what amazing things could they accomplish?
Yeah.
And what could you achieve?
It's all connected.
It really is. Until next time, everybody, keep learning, keep growing, and keep leading.